Broncos country, what's going on? Hey, it's April. We're in the NFL draft month. The draft is going to be here shortly, and it's about time that we start doing more accurate mock drafts to prepare ourselves. And there's no better way for us to prepare for this year's draft than by doing a mock draft with our good friend, the Spin Wheel. They are going to be helping, or the spin wheel is going to be helping us figure out how to draft. And so it is led by a handful of wonderful characters throughout Broncos history. We'll spin this for every pick, and we'll kind of act in that certain way. So leading off, we have drunk Josh McDaniels, or drunk John Elway, excuse me. He's going to make some great picks. Hopefully, we get him a couple times. Josh McDaniels, who might as well have been drunk during his time with the Broncos. Sean Payton, we got a trade back option right here. We got offense, defense, and the ghost of Al Davis as well. So we're going to go to the spin wheel. This has been inspired by Marky Sports on his channel. Go be sure to subscribe to him. He did an exercise sort of like this and was a lot of fun. So y'all feel free, smash that like, join the comments, join the discussion, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get this PFF mock draft simulator going on here. And we select the Broncos pick, which is great. Now let's spin this wheel. Yeah, it might be Tyler Shook. Definitely. But y'all go subscribe to Andy as well on Twitter. He's killing it with the draft stuff. So, oh man, it is looking like Al Davis is going to be making this. Let me go ahead and grab this banner here. It's the ghost of Al Davis will be making this pick. Let's head over. Let's start this draft. And yeah, this is going to be interesting because the ghost of Al Davis might align here really well with what some of the Broncos needs are, because Al Davis loves speed. He loves speed, baby. And what's great is that at least in this format here, Matthew Golden, who led the 40 this year at the combine, what was it, Andy? You can tell me this, like a 4.28, 40-yard dash. Incredible stuff. He's, the number 2 wide receiver on my board after Travis Hunter. So I think Matthew Golden would be a fantastic pick here. Luther Burden also has some speed as well. I don't think Emeka Egbuka is, an Al Davis type of pick. Maybe somebody like Walter Nolan. They talk a little bit about, rumored character concerns, like whatever that is. I would still have Walter Nolan on this team. Maybe the ghost of Al Davis isn't so bad with where our Denver Broncos are right now and the types of players that we need on this team. But I think I'm going to go ahead and and go here with Matthew Golden. It's the perfect Al Davis pick to go and get just the speed king of the combine. And at least in this scenario, it's a great player. So that's awesome. We got Matthew Golden here. Hopefully you guys like that pick. But let's continue on. Maybe we get some more weapons for Al Davis, or for the Denver Broncos via Al Davis. But let's see what happens here, shall we? Let's spin this wheel again. Again, we got drunk John Elway, Josh McDaniels, Sean Payton, offense, defense, ghost of Al Davis, or trade back as our options here. We'll see what we get. Yes. I'm going to need some help with this, but we do have drunk John Elway, which is awesome. Now we need to make this is going to be a tough pick. Likely this is going to be a player. I think freak athlete, boomer bust type of guy. Maybe has some wonderful physical traits, but might not have any work ethic, might not have any, love of football, um, or anything like that. So, yeah, let's get back to the board. Let me go ahead and change yeah, this banner right here. Let's get back to it. So we got some interesting players here available. Cam Scattaboo, Carson Sweshinger. John Elway doesn't want to draft defense here in the second round, does he? Does he? I mean, I guess he did draft Derek Wolfe in the second round. Of course, Von Miller was one of his best picks of all time. Norman Lott, he's somebody that could add to the pass rush here, but we are also still in need of a running back. And man, I'm trying to think. Did John Elway really draft running backs like Royce Freeman? He didn't draft No Sean. Man, I'm trying to think. Guys, I might need some help with this one for drunk John Elway. There's another guy that he could draft here. I think that kind of could be one of these guys, Elijah Arroyo, a guy that has a limited production profile, but has some exciting traits to him, no doubt about it. There are also guys such as Trey Harris or Savion Williams that I feel like could really fit this mold. High upside players, not necessarily um, maybe the most developed route runners yet. I know he drafted Jerry Jeudy, but I'm thinking more along the lines of that random guy, I can't ever remember his name, third round out of Louisiana Tech that never played a snap for us. I'm thinking about KJ Hamler that maybe he was an okay route runner, but just could never stay on the field. Let's get to a few of your comments, guys. I'm going to need help. Did he draft Monte Ball? Did John Elway draft Monte Ball? Really? Yeah, yeah, Mickey. I know this is the best mock draft of all time. That's right. Maybe Jack Sawyer would be one. Cam Scattaboo. Oh man, that could fit it. Honestly, kind of going with the Monte Ball comp. I kind of like that. I think that would kind of piss everybody off a little bit as well. Um, so let's just go ahead and do it. I really like that. I do like Cam Scattaboo, but not necessarily at pick 51. Um, Elway and Monte Ball were both hammered during the top 30 visit. That is gold of a comment, Marky. Love that. Yeah, Cam Scattaboo, he has cut out alcohol recently. I think that's what he said. But maybe you just pick that up in line of great drunk Denver Bronco running backs, going back to Monte Ball and Maurice Clarett. So let's go ahead and draft Cam Scattaboo. So if you guys need a little recap here, we got Matthew Golden, the speed king, a 4.29 40-yard dash, drafted by Al Davis. Then drunk John Elway was taken over the draft here at pick 51, went with Cam Scattaboo when you just had a ton of other elite upside running backs left, but went with Cam Scattaboo. Okay. All right. But now let's get to pick 85. Let's get back here to our next pick. We'll see what the spin wheel determines. Oh, no. Oh, okay, great. This is going to be a Sean Payton type of pick. This is going to be fun, guys. We get to put ourselves in the shoes of a Sean Payton here, which should be fun. Hopefully you guys can help me out with this in the comments. But I'm thinking, okay, we took care of wide receiver. We got our running back. Maybe Sean Payton. He does like to go offensive line. He does like. We do need another running back as well, even though we got Cam Scattaboo. We are in need of a defensive player. I think more so when I'm thinking of Sean Payton making a pick right here. It's a pick that, makes sense. It's a smart pick. We also need a tight end, like real bad. Somebody that I think he can mold into that nice big slot to take over for Evan Ingram here in a year or two. That would be Harold Fannin Jr. I think that that could be a really fun one. I think that you would probably like a guy like Jordan Phillips as well. Somebody that can really add to the interior. We don't have a guy right now playing nose tackle at 320. I mean, what's DJ Jones at? 305, 310, something like that. He does like Texas players, so that's something else that we need to consider. Maybe you go with somebody like Cam Williams. Can Cam Williams play guard? Can he play guard? Because that would be interesting. 6'5", 335, only 21 years old. Yeah, Andy, can he play guard? Let me know. I don't think he's going with Tez Johnson. I don't think he's going with Deion Walker. I could see us, going corner if we wanted to go that route. What would Sean Payton do in this scenario where you already got a wide receiver, you got a running back? Do you go tight end here? Let's see. Andy's saying, I like Scadaboo at 122, not 51, so it's a perfect Elway pick. No doubt. Yeah, definitely a little high. Andy's saying I'd go Jordan Phillips here, I think would be a great future piece in the interior D-line. And maybe, depending on what the spin wheel has us do, maybe we could go tight end a little bit after that. Some people I've talked to forecast Cam Williams to be a guard in the NFL. Personally, I think he's just a whatever you need him to play. He'll play it. So that could be cool because we do need a guard of the future with Ben Powers. Maybe we're moving on with him in a year or two. So, all right, guys. Andy, you have convinced me. A nice little Sean Payton pick here, something that makes sense. We're drafting Jordan Phillips, man. We're going to do it. Drafting Jordan Phillips. Thank you, Sean Payton, for joining this mock draft, adding some common sense to this mock draft. But, guys, we got to get back to the spin wheel here. Let's go ahead and get to it with our 4th round pick. And, oh, yes, this is getting very exciting. Al Davis checking in again, saying, John Elway, hold my beer. Watch this. So let's go ahead, grab the Ghost of Al Davis banner, and head over to pick 122. Got some interesting prospects here. Now, another speed king definitely could be somebody like Jaden Blue. I haven't done a follow-up to that, but the majority of you guys absolutely hated my take on Jaden Blue, which was awesome. Some of you guys hated my Ted McMillan video too, which is also awesome. But one of the fastest guys in this year's draft, but maybe not fast enough. We do have Bashul Tootin available, who I think ran the fastest 40 for the running backs this year. That could be fun. I like him, maybe not necessarily in the 4th round, but I could see scenarios in which he goes in the 4th round. I think both Jaden Blue and Bashul Tootin, I believe they both have fumble issues. I don't know why that's not here on here. Let me see. Zone blocking, must improve pass protection. A little one-dimensional. Yeah, he ranks in the 1st percentile in fumble rate with 9 fumbles over the last two seasons. So, yeah, yikes. What else? When I'm thinking of Al Davis, I'm thinking of flashy players, baby. Who else might be a flashy player on this team? Of course, Bashul Tootin is right here. Brashard Smith. We could draft a punter here. Maybe that would make sense. I think all the tight ends I liked are off the board now. So, yeah, maybe we can get somebody with our 6th round picks like Arondé Gatson or somebody. But, it's not the worst thing if we punt on tight end in this year's draft. Gonna check the comments, see what you guys think at all. Andy's saying gotta be Jaden Blue. Al Davis is mad that we took a bruiser rather than a speed guy, so he pounds the table for Blue. James saying we didn't hate it. It's just not a great selection. I know, I'm exaggerating, but that's what I do on this channel, man. I have fun with it. Judson Cake saying, let's go there. We could go with like an edge player. That could be fun as well. Let's see what kind of edges we got. Quandarius Robinson is available. Now, to be honest, guys, I really haven't done much um, prep yet on edges because I just don't really know if we're going to take, an edge in this year's draft, even though I wouldn't be opposed to it. But okay, hey, Quindarius Robinson, he had 3 sacks this year. You would like to get somebody that could that had more sacks in college. I believe Tyler Barron is still available. He was a double-digit sack guy this year down there. Ahmed Hassanin from Boise State, he had a great year, 10 sacks. That could be fun. But Tyler Beatty's another guy. Batty is another guy that I'm interested in, but he's not a big sack guy. But man, I gotta be honest. I like going offense with Al Davis. We're gonna go Jaden Blue, man. We're gonna do this. That way Sean Payton's like, hey, at least he's a Texas guy. I can get on board with it. So now we got to get to the last 3 picks of our drafts. Let's go ahead and get back to the spin wheel. Let's see who's going to be making this selection. Oh, man, I didn't mean to remove Al Davis. Why did I do that? Al Davis, Drunk John Elway. Here we go. Let's spin. Oh, my God. All right. Al Davis is just absolutely crushing this draft for us. So, yeah, we're back to it, making another selection. Ryland. Who is Ryland? Another edge guy? Is he off the board? Yeah, probably. All right. Where do we go from here? Al Davis, baby. Speed kills. Andy, did Antoine Wells run a quick 40? 6 foot, 24 years old. We need some speed kings on if we're going to draft another wide receiver. Ricky White's available, which could be a lot of fun at the wide receiver position. Aronde Gatson, I think he ran a decent 40 here, but yeah, this is a tough one because you could also just go Jordan James and really screw this thing up. Yeah, who? Oh, yeah. Jimmy Horn. I think he's he's got some speed. I wish the wide receiver from Tennessee was still available because that would have been really, really interesting. Didn't Caden Prather run a nice 40? Let me see here. He ran a 4.46. That's pretty good, man. And he's got some nice measurables as well. Yeah, 6'3", 210. I think that would be fun. I'm kind of leaning Caden Prather right now. Joshua Simon, he had a 4.65 40, which was second among tight ends. All right. Let's check for him. Oh yeah, Shamir Dyke is available, and he had a 4.34 30. Yeah, that could be fun. I do like Chisholm though too. Is he an Al Davis type of player though? I'm not sure. He's kind of short. I do love some Efton Chisholm though. I do love some Efton Chisholm though, Jetson. And Anthony coming in here saying if they draft Scatterboo at 51, I'll scream. Well, if John Elway's making that pick, you got to be prepared for it, dude. But hey, third in the draft with a 4.3440. Um, and you're going up my draft board with the last name Dyke. Love it. 42 receptions on 65 targets this year. That's awesome. 6'1, 195. Hey, that's plenty of size. That's totally fine. Average depth of target, 15 yards downfield. Hey, yeah, man, I'm for it. And also has drop issues. So yeah, I think this falls into an Al Davis type of pick. Andy coming in here clutch, helping with these late round gems. We're gonna go with Shamir Dyke. Just adding a bunch of speed to this offense, man. Aside from Cam Scatterboo, John Elway just picked a guy in mud right there. So let's continue on. I'm praying to God right now that we do not have another Al Davis pick. It would be fun to get a trade back in this scenario. Hey, what do you know? So we got a trade back. So hopefully here we get some trade backs at our next 6th-round pick at 197. It looks like we do have that. So Cleveland is interested, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Indianapolis Colts. Let's go ahead and work with like pick 200. And you give me, they won't accept 216. What about 254? How about that? All right, gonna move on there. Nope, they won't trade back. Nope. Well, screw it. For this exercise, we're gonna force this trade. 197. What the heck is going on here? Okay, thank you. All right, we're gonna force this trade. Trade with the Cleveland Browns. We get pick 200 and 254, which should be close to the end of the draft. And let's get back to the almighty spin wheel. Yes. Thank you. Drunk John Elway. I'm trying to think of any late round gems that he might have had. I can't even remember right now. Didn't he draft David Bruton, or was that Josh McDaniels? But I think of Chad Kelly, there in the 7th round. One of my favorite Broncos players ever. Woody from Toy Story. But yeah, so John Elway's coming in here, making an appearance again. You know what? Let's see what we got here. Hey, Tyler Shook is available. We got a lot of quarterbacks: Brady Cook, Kyle McCord. Is there anybody with a? I was thinking with a DUI. Kyron Lacey could be one of those guys as well. But we've kind of drafted a lot of wide receivers. We could go tight end here. He did draft, of course, Noah Fant. Maybe we go back to Iowa. Shout out to my friend Chris Goodman I talked to today, who's a graduate of the University of Iowa. Luke Lachey, that could be interesting. Are there just some athletic freaks here, maybe on offense or defense, that Elway would be enamored with? Let's continue to go through here. Rocket Sanders? Like you would like Rocket Sanders. Maybe like a guy like Shamari Simmons. I do like Shamari Simmons as a DB for this team. Yeah. Let's see what you guys got to say. Let's take a look at the comments here. Oh, Judson. Yes, absolutely. Dippery. Is that how you pronounce his name? Yeah, from Alabama. Yeah, 6'5", 262. Um, man, who was that tight end? Was that also Josh McDaniels from like UNC? And I think he had like single digit career catches at UNC, drafted him in like the 3rd round. Um, yeah, but hey, Dippery, he still had 21 receptions here. Yeah, that could be fun from Alabama. I'm open to this idea. Yeah, John never hit late, but it's drunk John Elway. That's right. So maybe it is Tyler Shook or hey, Kyle McCord, he is kind of that gunslinger, he's gonna throw it around. For me, it's between Kyle McCord and Dippery, I think. Tyler Shook is another good option here, but Judson coming in here late saying Ian Larson. Is he even on this thing? Let me search. No, no, he's not. Screw it, man. We're going with the gunslinger Common Core, baby. That's what we're doing. And this also goes with just brain dead moves, in my opinion. You draft Peyton or you sign Peyton Manning, and what's the first pick you make in the draft, trying to go all in and win the Super Bowl? It's getting Brock Osweiler, drafting him with our first pick, I believe it was, in the 2nd round. Maybe we had a first rounder. I might take that back. But it made no sense drafting a quarterback in the 2nd round when you got Peyton Manning. And hey, if you are going to draft a quarterback, then at least trade back up into the 1st round so you get that 5th year option. He made the mistake of drafting a quarterback of the future whose rookie contract also expired the same time Peyton Manning's contract expired, and that's how you end up with Trevor Siemian. So it just made no sense at all. So that's what we're doing here. Also drafting a quarterback, in this case Kyle McCord, because Bo Nix with his 5th year option and Kyle McCord, both of their contracts expire at the same time, and you don't want to have a backup quarterback signed to a fairly expensive 2nd contract for a backup when you're also paying Bo Nix elite money. That's what you're set up to do in this scenario. No doubt about it. Brilliant. Now, we also could have gone Brady Cook in this scenario. Going back to the Drew Lock stuff, this also fits in. Maybe I should have thrown in Brady Cook here because he also had a poorer senior year compared to his junior year. That was also Drew Lock as well, if I remember correctly. And yeah, but take whatever quarterback you want, put him in there for round 6. That's just what we did. Kodiak coming in here. I thought about this with the $5 super chat. Again, thank you so much for your generosity with the channel. Y'all, please go subscribe to my good friend Kodiak. We got to do a live stream here soon. He says, draft Desmond Watson as our Joker. Yes, that needs to happen. Maybe with pick 254, we just go ahead and do that. That would be awesome because he can take those refrigerator Perry type of handoffs. Be a lot of fun, man. And it really would. Is he even on this PFF thing? And he's not, because PFF needs to get with it. Wow. Dude, PFF, man, I need to use a different site. What an embarrassment. They don't even have Desmond Watson on here. we're at least signing him as, the highest paid UDFA of all time. Again, when you're 464 pounds, we need to draft you, even if it's just for memes. We need to sign you nonetheless. Yeah, canceling my PFF ASAP after Desmond Watson isn't on here. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Let's go ahead and get to our next pick. It's pick 208. And we also have 254. What are we going to get? Excuse me. All right. We're going offense, baby. We're going offense. About time. We haven't gotten enough offense in this draft, in this mock draft. No way. So let's get back to it. Offense. I think this should include offensive line. So we're gonna grab wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, offensive line, and we're not gonna draft another quarterback. We're not gonna do that. So I'm not really interested in bringing in another running back. Cam Scatterboo will compete with Audric Estime for running back 3. Man, maybe we really do sign J.K. Dobbins in this scenario. CJ Dippre, that could be a really fun option here. I think so. Aronde Gatson, who I'm Luke Lachey. I like all these guys. It could be nice to get a guy like Hollins Pierce, who I think is a nice developmental tackle. Andy, can you let me know? Can he play guard as well? Because I think a lot of these tackles, like from what I have listened to by like draft experts, they talk about how a handful of these tackles might actually make better guards at the NFL level. 6'8", 344. Wow. All Big Ten over at Rutgers. I would be interested in this. We still need a tight end very, very badly. I do want to draft a CU wide receiver, but we already got the 2 fastest or 2 of the 3 fastest guys in Matthew Golden and Shamir Dyke. What you guys thinking? Andy would go Jake Majors here. Pierce could go to guard, but he's actually my favorite offensive tackle sleeper in the entire draft, so I'll stick him at tackle. Anthony Tadaro saying he's a tackle. I kind of want to go with an offensive lineman here. I kind of want to go there. Andy would go Jake Majors. I'm on the Luke Wattenberg defender camp right now. Let's just go with Hollins Pierce, man. We're gonna go with Holland Pierce. Tackle. I really like that pick. All right. Oh yeah, 6'8". Duh. Yeah, he's definitely a tackle. Duh. Yeah. Yeah. There's few of us, Anthony. There's few of us. Okay, let's get to this last pick at 254. Let's see what we got going on here. What is the wheel going to give us? We still need a tight end. Is it going to be in the cards? No, it is not. We're saying screw it. We're drafting defense, baby. Okay, we're drafting defense. Let me go ahead and adjust our banner here on StreamYard so you guys know what we're doing. So we're drafting defense. So let's go ahead and grab all our defensive guys here. This is when we draft Desmond Watson. Like, this is really when we do it. And I'm throwing in special teams. All right, linebacker Gathan Bernendal. He had a pretty decent pass coverage grade, which I think was nice. 86 total tackles on the season, so that's nice over at Stanford. You gotta be smart to play at Stanford, so, uh, heady type of guy. I think, our defense could definitely use another linebacker in the room. Um, and yet Tommy Hill from, Nebraska, if I remember, he's sized very nicely at 6 feet, 205. Had an interception, this year, so that's nice. More of a boundary corner, yeah, played no snaps in the slot. Not a great man coverage guy though, so maybe Tommy Hill's not really a fit for us. Again, I like Shamari Simmons. I think he can play, um, some safety as well. I think that's what he showed, if I remember correctly, over at the Shrine. Um, but mainly played slot, corner, and box at Arizona State. I think it would be nice to have some depth in there at slot, with Jaquan McMillan, 6 feet, 195 pounds, also has awesome dreadlocks. Um, we're not drafting Shiloh. Sorry, Shiloh, man. We're just not doing that. Safeties here. Don't know too much about these guys. Jordan Hancock, at least he's a national champion from Ohio State, 6'1", 195. Hmm. I'm leaning right now to Shamari Simmons, Aubrey Burks. Mm, I wish those Nebraska defensive linemen were still available. Jabbar Muhammad's another interesting guy. I think we could man, he played less slot than I thought because he's like what, 5'10"? Oh, yeah, don't like that. Don't like 5'10" guys. David Gabenda, I think this guy's a pretty speedy linebacker, if I remember correctly, from Texas. But we've already drafted enough Texas guys. Joe Evans is a big interior defensive lineman. Yeah, 6'3", 335 over at UTSA, but it doesn't seem like he's going to give you much in the pass rush. Nazir Stackhouse, actually, he might be the best value here. He can play some nose tackle for us as well, and I think that he had a pretty good. Did he play in the Shrine Bowl? I think it was the Shrine Bowl. I think he performed well there. 6'3", 320 pounds. What y'all thinking? Let me get to some of your comments here. Let's see. Oh, what did the wheel choose for the first pick? It was Al Davis. So, but man, I really like that Matthew Golden pick at 20. Al Davis did us good there. You know, Hancock is a good corner. That's what Justin Cake is saying. Anthony's saying, do you think Kenneth Grant could be a Dexter Lawrence? I would love for us to draft Kenneth Grant. I think he could be, man. Safety, I meant. Yeah. For me, it's between Nazir Stackhouse and Shamari Simmons right now. So I'm going to let the chat make this pick. Next person to comment in there between Stackhouse or Simmons, that's going to be the pick. We'll see what we got going on. But this is kind of a consolation. If Desmond Watson was on this list, we were going to go Des Watson. Yes, we're going Shamari Simmons, Judson coming in here. Andy's saying we need secondary help. So that's what we're going to do to round out this draft. And, oh, man, Nash Hutmacher was available as well. But, man, who cares? We already got Jordan Phillips. So let me find Shamari Simmons. All right. So here's the draft. What? PFF is as drunk as John Elway is, giving us an A+ for drafting Kyle McCord in the 6th round. That is pathetic. But if you guys need a summary here, let's get to it. We had, first off, Al Davis selected Matthew Golden. Then drunk John Elway took over in the 2nd round and said, man, we need we got too much speed in this on this team. It's time we draft some slower guys. Cam Scadaboo, how about that? Falling in line with Monte Ball, B+. Then we had Sean Payton take over in the 3rd round saying, guys, we need some stability to this draft. We're drafting Jordan Phillips. going to be a focal point of this defensive line for a very long time, given an A grade. Let's go. And also, PFF loves Cam Scattaboo. Uh, Again, just like Drunk John Elway. Very interesting. Does Drunk John Elway run PFF? Then in the fourth round, Jaden Blue took over, or he was drafted by the ghost of Al Davis again. We needed some speed, baby. So we went with Jaden Blue. Then we also went with Shamir Dyke again because Al Davis was selected by the wheel again. Then John Elway said, I cannot let Al Davis outshine me drafting for my own team. Give me Kyle McCord, baby. Brady Cook was also a close guy that could have been drafted there. We then hit the trade back, and we finished off with Holland Pierce at tackle, being forced to draft offense, and then lastly being forced to draft defense, going with Shamari Simmons. So overall, this actually wasn't too bad of a draft. I'd be fairly happy with this, aside from drafting a quarterback in the 6th round. But overall grade was an A-, which is hilarious. Let's just put a tight end in there at quarterback, and this is close to a perfect draft, baby. For the most part. We could sub out some guys here, like Scattaboo, but it is what it is. I really do appreciate you guys coming in and helping me with this exercise. I thought that this was a lot of fun. And, as we get closer to the draft, I'll probably be doing some, top fives of, hey, these are like my top 5 guys, my favorite guys specifically to fit the Broncos at certain positions. I think that would be pretty cool. And man, I just can't wait. I just can't wait. Guys, please be sure to sub to my friends, Kodiak Broncos Podcast, Marquee Sports, See You Andy, really anybody that I've had on here, Mike Carmelini of Mic'd Up. Go find them. This was a lot of fun, guys. I hope you have a wonderful evening. I'll be back tomorrow. And as always, y'all, go Broncos.